Hi, good afternoon, all. Thank you for joining us today with a great guest, Stephen Ritz of the Green Bronx Machine. The Green Bronx Machine has been a previous recipient of an MDRT Foundation grant, which, just to give you, the grants are closing on September 1st. So if you have any organizations that you would like to present, please get your information in ASAP so you can give them a chance to potentially get a grant. Uh, this is being presented by the MDRT US Community Leaders Team. So thank you for letting us share this story today. We have another upcoming event on September 16th, and the information for that can be found on the Facebook MDRT US and Canada page. So if you're not part of that, join it, because you will get some valuable information throughout the year on what we're doing and how we're helping out with educating our members. Well, I don't want to lead you on anymore. Let's get going with Stephen Ritz. For those of us who don't know about your work, tell us what the Green Bronx Machine does.
Well, first and foremost, hello, Dominic, and all my friends out there at MDRT. I hope you guys are well. I literally want to jump through this screen. Let me send a big shout out. Of course, I know David Blake, you're out there, RJ, Michelle, Terry. There are probably so many of you. I can't see who's on this call, but I can feel you in the stratosphere. So a big Bronx shout out to all of you. I know there are some big congratulations out there due Terry's way. So I'll leave it at that and just hope all are well. And welcome everybody. And what does Green Bronx Machine do? That's a great question. We grow high-performing students, high-performing public schools, and happy, healthy students. Green Bronx Machine is the art and science of growing vegetables aligned to whole school performance indicators. So I like to say, we grow vegetables, our vegetables grow students, our students grow schools, and our schools grow high-performing communities. It's really been a remarkable journey right here from the Bronx around the world. We use our proprietary curriculum along with indoor growing technology. I'm coming to you live from my classroom. We just harvested out, and we're getting ready to harvest back in this week. We've got an amazing farm downstairs, but that's kind of what we do.
Fantastic. So you touched on a little bit, but is your work local, regional, national, or international?
You know, that's a great question, Dominic. You got some good questions over there, Dominic. Our work is all of the above. I like to say it is hyper-local and hyper-connected. And what started in one classroom here in the Bronx now touches over 875 schools across the nation and around the world. So it is really local, for sure. It's regional, it's national, and it's international. So it is all of the above.
So that's, I'm gonna throw a question in there that we didn't talk about in the past, because you just made me think of it. So basically, somebody that's on this call that here's the Green Bronx Machine, because yes, your facilities are in the Bronx, farm that I met you at's in the Bronx. They can contact you and potentially work with you somewhere else in the country, somewhere else in the world.
So absolutely. We've got schools up in Syracuse, thanks to Terry. We've got literally, we are in about 30 of the 50 states. We are reworking our curriculum so it'll be eligible and standard aligned to every single state in the country. We have Canadian curriculum in Canada. We are presently in Europe. So the answer is yes, yes, yes. We are designed to make this as low cost and accessible for schools, nonprofits, community centers, and small organizations around the world. That was the whole concept. That a one-time single investment could bring perpetual and ongoing returns. And it has really worked incredulously well. Yeah, I'm looking at a video. If we can talk over this as the kids are outside to get a sense of what goes on in front of our schools. We get ready.
Every day.
Every day. We're excited.
I
go to school.
I meet my friends.
I meet my friends.
And we all say.
And we all say.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Let me shut that down because
How are you?
But that's part of our outdoor
I'm good. I'm great.
the art and science of growing vegetables indoors and outdoors. So we have outdoor gardens, indoor gardens, classroom gardens. I'll leave it on this picture here. And go away, Dominic. Keep hitting me with those hard questions. And people, feel free to send them a question.
Yes, I would love to ask him your questions also. When did it start, and how many people do you serve now?
So remarkably, Green Bronx Machine started in about 2011. It was a single program for 17 overage undercredited students, just a small organization out of a very dysfunctional high school in the Bronx. Today, we serve over 275,000 students daily. We've trained over 10,000 teachers, and we're just getting started, which is really rather remarkable. We're still a very small organization. Again, a big shout out to my main man, David Blake, who actually brought me aid to your event, introduced me to so many of you. So many of you have gotten involved. You've given up. I mean, let me tell you something. Dominic, you dress up nicely, but let me tell you something. I've seen his knobby knees digging our soil. Dominic is one hell of a farmer. So he's been there, I think, now for what, 5, 6, 7 years in a row? Every year to help us plant our food for others' farm. So it's really taken off. And what this really is about is people power. Look, I'm still a volunteer. It's just Lizette and I, a couple of consultants. I don't even take a salary. And we're really looking to revolutionize and reorganize the way nonprofit and philanthropy works.
No, I love the look. I love the organization. That's why we're having this conversation. That's why I brought it to my fellow community leaders team to let more people hear your story. What are some of the assets of your organization?
So some of the assets of the organization are amazing. Number one, we have award-winning curriculum, which is right here. And it is literally the art and science of growing vegetables aligned to every single academic outcome. So kids think they're coming to school to farm, whether it's indoors in the classroom or outdoors in the community, but they're really learning math, science, literacy. Our test scores are off the hook. Some of the other assets of our organization, believe it or not, we have an award-winning TV show. So we now have a new animated TV show as well. We have a cooking show called Tower to Table to Tummy. We have our TV show called Let's Learn with Mr. Ritz, which is me taking magical adventures around the world. And of course, our animated TV show, which I guarantee you'll love. And that's on Green Bronx Machine Kids on YouTube. So check it out, subscribe today, and enjoy the show with your kids.
So, Stephen, I have our first attendee question. How does one nominate a school for more information?
Nominate a school. Listen, you can write me direct, Stephen, STEPHEN .RITZ at greenbronxmachine.org. You can send an email to info@greenbronxmachine.org, which, by the way, comes to me because it's only Lizette and I entering email. So either way, it all gets to us. You could call Dominic. He'll get you in touch. I'll even give you my phone number, 917-873-6449. Again, 917-873-6449. If you text me, I promise I'll call you back. I don't always pick up because sometimes I'm on the phone. I'm on the computer doing this, but I promise I'll get back to you.
Definitely does. I do have his number. He definitely will get back to you in a relatively expeditious.
But we'd love to work with anybody and everybody. So please call out. And we even have a whole. I'll get to that later.
Fantastic. So tell us about your classroom. What you actually.
I'm in my classroom. You're looking at a picture of me right now. We're waiting for kids to come back. But if you look at the screen, this is what we do. We grow tons of vegetables in class, in school. It is the art and science of growing vegetables, a farmer's market. We cook it, we sell it, we process it, we put it into the cafeteria, we cook daily. We really have a lot of fun. Of course, there's our curriculum. But let me be clear. This is school. The kids think we're farming, and yes, we are, but it's really authentic project-based learning. And what we've done is we've moved attendance from 40% to 93%. We've had 100% graduation rates. We've improved state testing scores by 45%, including English language learners and special needs students. We've made the cover of Time. Our school is now proficient. We're sending home out of this classroom 100 bags of groceries a week. And some of the work that we've done in the Bronx is taken lots that have looked like this, turned them into this, taken over buildings and converted them into small school farms. We put strawberries on rooftops, green roofs out in Hunts Point, taken over factories. We've even converted schoolyards from cement into greenhouses. So we're really doing some fun stuff.
Fantastic. And you'd be like, the first time I went to his farm in the Bronx, I'm driving there on a Saturday morning, and I'm like, where is this farm? And all of a sudden, I pull up at the end of a block, and there's a farm at the base of a train trestle, and it's amazing. But you'd never know it was even there. The space that he took over, you'd bet.
And that farm cranks out 5,000 pounds of food in a community that literally eats every last drop of it. So again, Dominic is one hell of a farmer. I know you guys know him. He's probably one of the best dressed guys and most well-spoken people at MDRT. But let me tell you, he has some dirt under those nails, not once, but for many, many years. And
Thank you.
Dominic and even RJ and David Blake, so many of you. I just want to say thank you. That farm is open to all of you, and we're really excited about some of the new directions it's taking, but we'll talk about that later too.
So, Stephen, I'm sure, with everything you're doing, I'm sure you've, won some accolades, special recognition. What has the Green Bronx Machine earned over the years?
Well, if you look on your screen right now, this to me is probably one of the most remarkable things imaginable. To think that this year, 2024, Green Bronx Machine was named the most innovative company by Fast Company, given who and what we're up against, is absolutely remarkable. So that's something I take great pride in. And that's really because we've been determined to be disruptive. And what I mean by disruptive is if you were to tell me a small one-time investment into a school or a community center could bring a lifetime of school performance and overall health outcomes, I would have thought you're nuts, but we've really figured out how to do it. And the fact that we do it again and basically give it away at cost has made us one of the more innovative companies in our space. I'm proud of that. But let me be clear. For those of you who don't know, this is an Emmy Award. That's right. We've won an Emmy Award for our Growing a Greener World episode on Growing a Greener World. For 2 years in a row, we've won the Classy Social Innovation Award. We've got 7. I've got a handful of them right here. 7 Gold Anthem Awards for achievement in the nonprofit space. And if you look back on the wall behind me, hold on, right up there, you'll see you can't see it, but for 2 years in a row, we have won Best in the Bronx for teaching and innovation. So those are just a couple of things that we've been up to, but we keep forging away.
So I have another, before we go back to the question, I have another great question from the audience. For big cities, are big cities the only areas without access to food and grocery stores?
No, let me tell you something. That's a great question. Right now, as it stands, there are 13 million children in this country living below poverty. 1 in 5 children in this country go to bed hungry at night. The food insecurity issues that are facing this nation. When I talk about food insecurity, I'm talking about no access to food. Is it rent or is it food? It is unimaginable. Think about like here in New York, we've had these horrific rains over the weekend. If you think about some of the people in the Midwest, in rural America, if it does rain too much or it doesn't rain at all, there is no food. When you think about some of the supply chain issues, even post-COVID that still exist, some of the pricing issues, some of the access issues, food insecurity has never been greater in this country. And for a lot of reasons. And I'm going to keep my politics right to the side of this. It's simply a matter of supply and demand, the proliferation of cheap food. Do you know that the number one franchise in America is Dollar General? There are more Dollar Generals right now in the United States than there are McDonald's. And wherever there's a Dollar General or one of those general dollar stores, there are more health-related problems due to diet than anything else imaginable. In fact, there are a lot of municipalities, particularly in rural America, that are banning them because not only are they only minimum wage job, but the consequential health problem from eating that crap has really done a disservice to our children, to our nation, to the healthcare system, and to the overall health of our country. So it's really a challenge time. And, right on the screen, you see this whole notion about prioritizing food education. Never has it been more important. And let me be clear, food education is not saying, bananas grow on trees and carrots grow in the ground. It's understanding what food really is, the historical significance of it, the cultural significance of it, the health implications of it. So food education has never been more important than it is as it is right now. Remarkably, here in New York City, just over a year ago, Mayor Adams revealed a roadmap for food education. It was in June of 2023. And here we are now in August 2024. 1,600 cities, major cities across America, have adapted the food education roadmap. And the results have been spectacular with kids, both in terms of health outcomes, in terms of eating choices, and most importantly, educationally. Because when you use food as a lens to teach about everything, you really have something that kids can sink their teeth into. Not to sound corny, but it really does work.
I just said first, Lizette just wanted to be on camera because she just walked right behind. She didn't peek in, but we can say a little Lizette. She's the amazing woman behind and supporting the amazing man we're speaking to, but she just walked past a few times.
Yeah, well, Lizette is here. Let me be clear. We're never too far apart. And, as much as I am the face of the organization, Lizette really does deserve a great deal of credit, far more than people realize. I may be the face and often the buttocks of the organization, but this organization thrives and succeeds because of her skill set. So thank you for acknowledging her. Behind every man, there is an incredible woman, but really her organizational skills, her operational skills has enabled us to do what we do so well.
And I
doesn't like to wear the cheese hat.
That's okay. I saw just some Mayor Adams with a sustainable gangster shirt.
Mayor Adams is our sustainable gangster. I'm on his food advisory board and the food transition team, but no one has really done more to advocate plant forward eating and healthy eating in the history of New York City than Mayor Adams. It's really remarkable, and we're seeing the benefits of that daily. So in that regard, I got to give the mayor a lot of credit. And, again, politics to the side, everyone should be behind high-performing public schools and happy, healthy children. And the way you get there is through food.
Right. Well, I really wrote up is definitely put out your link in the chat that if anybody would like to, because you do have some merchandise to support your brand.
Oh, yeah. We have if you want that, you can get the shirt. It's at greenbronxmachine.org/merchandise. Thank you for that. I didn't even think about that shameless plug. Yeah, get yourself a t-shirt today.
Not a shameless plug. I have a couple. I want the I'm going to get myself the sustainable gangster one. I like that.
We've got sustainable gangster. We've got make epic happen. We've got imagine, believe, act. You name it. We've got really powerful shirts, including two of my favorite, which is be your own hero, because I want everyone to be their own hero, and education, not asphyxiation, because we want to breathe more life into everything that we all do.
Yes. So what makes Green Bronx Machine unique from other organizations?
That's a great question. What makes us unique, first and foremost, is that, we are really about impact as opposed to income. Now, let me be clear. It takes dollars to make this organization work, and we're very grateful for everyone's support. But, we're not a multi-million-dollar organization, nor do we ever want to be. What makes us unique is that we are literally giving it away for the cost for which we incur it. So it's basically a very kind of sustainable, virtuous circle. Whatever we get comes in, goes right out the door. I don't take a salary. We don't monetize anything. We don't mark up prices on equipment. We basically give it away. And ever since, post-COVID, and if you will, and the democratization of the internet, we've been able to give things away for free, including me, including access to me, including access to our assets, to the website, to all sorts of materials. So that really makes us unique. We're not into enterprise building. We're into changing the way philanthropy works in school and giving people as easy access into perpetuity as possible. What also makes us unique is that we're a whole school program. I always said I'm not a farmer, and I'm still not a farmer. But what I am is a people farmer. And the thing that we are growing most, and the data indicates, is high-performing schools and happier, healthy children. So we're really an education program, and that makes us super unique.
So this next question that I'm going to ask you, somehow we got to get in contact with Steve Cohen, because I'm a Mets fan. I know you're doing stuff at Yankee Stadium, so I do want to hear about that. But somehow we got to get something at Citi Field.
Well, let me tell you something about Steve Cohen, Steve and Alexandra Cohen, before we go they are some of our earliest adopters. So they have done some remarkable work. And let me be clear, I would love to do something at Citi Field. So yes, we need to speak to them, but I do need to make it very abundantly obvious that the Stephen Alexandra Cohen Foundation, the Give Foundation, has been remarkably supportive of Green Bronx Machine and helped us distribute over 100,000 pounds of food during the pandemic. So they're wonderful. But the farm at Yankee Stadium, OMG, they retired my number. As a little kid, who doesn't dream of growing up and playing baseball at Yankee Stadium? But to think that my picture and number is on the wall there, and remarkably, the Yankees it was these three little girls right here that you see on screen, New York City's first food ambassadors, 2 years ago. They came up with this vision of making New York City more plant forward, and the mayor announced them as the first food ambassadors. In fact, there he is. They gave them all a bunch of an award and said, you guys are going to go forward. And somehow the Yankees heard about it. And the Yankees also, some of the Yankees are very plant forward. So we wound up building a replica of our classroom at Yankee Stadium. Believe it or not, there's Nestor Castro. What a great pitcher he is. I'm trying to get him to join our board. But we built a farm at Yankee Stadium, and we did it low cost. We converted, believe it or not, the COVID tent into a greenhouse, so no big cost. And we built this farm in 2 days, and the kids love it. They handle the press conference. There's Lizette in the background with Nestor, and there are the girls handling the press conference for CBS News and PBS. It was kind of remarkable. So the farm has really taken off, but it's given light to a whole new set of possibilities because Yankee Stadium is 100% ADA accessible. And there are hundreds of schools in New York City, thousands of schools in America that have tower gardens or some kind of indoor ag technology. And it was right then and there that I had this whole idea. And this is part of, my new grant proposal with you guys is to create ADA accessible technology so that young people in wheelchairs and some with developmental disabilities, listen, the plants grow themselves. They just need some love and care. And there are some simple things that you do. So our goal is to take stadiums. And I think, quite frankly, Alexandra and Steve Cohen are going to get behind this in a huge way, is to create vocational training centers for these young people because they are the most chronically unemployed and underemployed demographic, not only in New York City, not only New York State, but the nation. So if we can take these young people who really have a great desire to work and a love for plants and nature and put them to work growing food in communities where it's needed most, wow, amazing things can happen. So the Yankee Farm has really been a blessing. For those of you who go there, please go check it out. Take a picture and post on it. It's really amazing to see. And tag us. Yes, and tag us, please. Lizette's saying, and don't forget to tag us.
Yes, always tag them. So for those at MDRT who don't know about your Food for Others farm, please provide some context.
So, our Food for Others farm. Well, Dominic, you gave the best description of it ever. And, if you go to the end of the street, there's this farm. There it was at the beginning of the summer, and that's a formerly abandoned street. We ripped up the blacktop. We put composted soil on top of it. We put on landscape cloth on top. And literally every summer we plant. The seedlings start in our classroom and we plant thousands and thousands of plants to grow food all summer long. We grow amazing amounts of food. I got very interested, and this is part of my new proposal in putting in solar panels. So there's internet connectivity, but also all kinds of solar power awareness. And we just grow copious amounts of food. So our Food for Others farm has been in existence now for 10 years, growing over 5,000 pounds of food per year. But we're really anxious to grow a lot more food and getting really excited about that.
But you just skipped to a picture, so I'm going to skip to a question.
Go ahead.
To go to this picture. I saw in your LinkedIn profile that you recently connected with Vice President Kamala Harris. Tell us about that.
Yes, so that actually, man, Dominic, you are a social media wonder in addition to a farm. So yes, I recently did connect we were in Richmond, Virginia, and I guess about 6 weeks ago, Vice President Harris went down to a place called Babylon Farms, and there she is at Babylon Farms talking about the benefit of urban farming in America. And this technology is rather remarkable. In fact, it's the very technology we were so inspired. Lizette and I went down to see it, And believe it or not, we're going to be debuting it in our classroom. There's the picture of the vice president, and up above the doorway, there's a mini unit that we will be bringing to our classroom. And we hope to bring this technology to classrooms across America. The beautiful thing is that it's connected through the internet. So we'll be able to have kids and communities talking to each other, keeping track of the food. So it is really super exciting, the technology that exists out there. One of the interesting things and why the vice president was there is because 100% of this technology is manufactured in America. So it is American ingenuity. It is American jobs. It is living wage. And not only do they pay living wage, the company is known for being an outstanding company. So this is one of the things that personally and professionally, Green Bronx Machine and both Stephen and Lizette Ritz are very proud to support and be a part of. And, you know, politics to the side, everybody needs healthy food. And when you can grow it in an efficient and cost-effective way and give access in cities, in countrysides, in basements across America, it's remarkable. But, you know, my goal is to put units like these in big corporations across America and then have my special needs kids come in and take care of them and share the harvest with you. So that's part of what we're up to. And, you know, that's this whole movement that we're calling Generation Growth.
Yes. So just to skip around, so you just brought that up. So tell us about the film Generation Growth, how folks can see it, how they can learn more.
Oh, great. I'm delighted to. So, you know, for those of you who haven't heard, I want you, that's me, I want you to see our film. It's now available. It's called Generation Growth. I'll show you the trailer. I've got the trailer queued up. The film has won awards everywhere. And again, a big special thanks to my friend David Blake for all his support. But let's take a look at the trailer. You'll see the trailer right here.
We're seeing all kinds of health anomalies in communities of poverty.
You got the bodegas with 5 different types of pork rinds, but no fresh fruit.
And get your phones
There's a
ready.
strong linkage between having poor diet, having poor health outcomes, and then just affecting your quality of life across so many different dimensions.
Zip code and skin color should not determine outcomes in life. I'm out to change that.
Who's the white guy with the cheese hat that's walking around the neighborhood?
I had this vision. I could put this magical garden in the middle of a classroom and build school around it.
Stephen Ritz and his Green Bronx Machine are opening young minds to science, nutrition, and wellness.
When you cultivate a palate, you are changing the trajectory of those children's lives. So sometimes you gotta pull a little magic out of the hat.
You can hug it, but not too tight.
My favorite subject is science.
This is how change happens, one community at a time.
You can't rush growth. You can't go from seed to harvest without care and cultivation in the middle.
Yes, so that's the trailer. We're in the middle of our summer screening, so you can see the film for free. That's right, F-R-E-E, my favorite 4-letter word. You can go and take your phone. You can scan it right here. Sign up for a free screening. You will laugh. You will cry. You will jump for joy. So please take a screening. The film has a website. It's called GenerationGrowthFilm.com. There it is. You can send a hashtag about it. You can post about it. The hashtag is Generation Growth Film. See the film. Contact us. We're doing all kinds of screenings, live, virtual. I'm showing up. We have kids calling in. But the film is really, we even have ambassadors if you're interested in becoming an ambassador. But the film is really taking off in ways that we never imagined. So there's the film. There's the website. You can sign up for a screening today and see it tonight in the privacy of your own home. Hopefully you'll have some good popcorn and no sugar sweetened snacks.
I can definitely say all those emotions are definitely true. I was on one of the premiere events. I believe I saw it on the first event it came out on. It was fantastic. I did sign up for the Growth Ambassador Program, which I missed the first session because I wasn't feeling it, but I will be on. There's a session tomorrow night.
We're going to be getting some swag coming your way soon, Dom, just so you know. We finally got that out to the post office this weekend, so you got some swag coming your way. But literally, the film just followed me for 2 years across the country as we took this program to big cities, little cities, the middle of the woods, out in Indiana, in a town of 400, downtown Indianapolis. We went everywhere, in a lot of special needs communities as well. And the results were just overwhelming. The program works and people respond to it. So, the answers to addressing poverty, food insecurity are really right in front of us. And that's what will really leave you inspired. Politics, again, to the side. The answers are right in front of us. We just have to be willing to spend the time and a little bit of energy where it's needed most.
So one thing that was brought up to my attention in the questions, which you might have to change in your website, because your website says the film is available until July 31st, which obviously we're a few weeks past that. So you might want to update that.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. One thing that we forgot to do, I'll get on that. And that's on the website. It says it's only available until the 31st.
That was a question that was just posed to me that somebody looked it up. So that's good that people are looking it up already.
No, that's great. The film is available now. Go right to generationgrowthfilm.com. Go right there and you can sign up today. I know it because people signed up this morning.
Yeah. So going back to some other previous questions, I know the answers, but tell people, how has MDRT been involved with the Green Bronx Machine up to today?
Wow. How has MDRT been involved? Well, first and foremost, we had a wonderful board member for many years out of MDRT, an MDRT member. So I want to thank and acknowledge that board member, David Blake, for sure. But, every year you guys get out and help us in the garden at the most difficult time of year when that labor is most needed. And what do we get? 10, 20, 30. I mean, RJ flew in from California one year to come in and help us. So it's the labor. But it's also the amazing amount of support. I'm in touch with so many of you people, and it's about capacity. The capacity that I've learned from you guys. So many of you have successful businesses, and realize I'm not a businessman. I'm a school teacher. I'm a school teacher and a school administrator. I never intended to do any of this. So learning how to manage a business, how to manage data, how to manage expansion, how to think about those things has really been great. And of course, sharing the news. Because, short of my wife and family, you guys are the biggest champions we have. MDRT has been on board from day one, supporting some of our smallest projects to some of our biggest projects to some of their own, which is also great. There are people asking, how can I bring this to a community near me? Many MDRT members have, which is wonderful. So we are just phenomenally grateful for your support. And of course, sharing on social media. We don't have a social media manager. We don't spend money on marketing at all. We spend $0 on that. So I always say your voice is your contribution. And when an organization as esteemed and as powerful and as respected as MDRT gets behind an organization and says, hey, look at this organization, not even writing the check, just saying, look at this organization. Guess what? It sticks with someone somewhere. So from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you. And you guys have been involved from day one. And here we are today, championing the cause in our newest project again. So the proof is in the pudding. Right? I did. Lizette's saying, mention Terry Kruger. I have. And, big congrats out to her. So there are so many of you out there.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of wonderful MDRT members.
You guys are all welcome to visit. So, we are an open door here. So if ever you get lost in New York City and you want to really get lost, come on up to the Bronx. I promise to feed you and feed you good. And we now have chickens living in front of the school. So I can even send you home with a dozen eggs.
One thing I could say is if anybody does want to be involved, because he does do a planting event every April. It's usually sometime in the middle of the month, depending on weather and
we get closer to May. We start in April, but the plants go in the ground closer to Mother's Day, depending on the last freeze.
Right. So anybody that's connected with me or wants to connect with me on LinkedIn, I will be posting it because I can guarantee to you I will be at the planting next year and the following year and the year after that. And I, try to go throughout the year to help out at other times. So if you do want to get involved, connect with me because I will have something posted about it as soon as Stephen gives me the dates of it. Right now, he talked about it a little bit, but this is something that I got behind. I'm actually helping Stephen apply for a grant this year about a new project. He talked about it a little bit. It's such an important project that I want people to rehear about it. So please talk about the new project you want to do in the Bronx again.
Super. Thank you for that. And I'm delighted. This project was really the outgrowth of our personal learning here at Green Bronx Machine. Listen, there are cute, adorable kids who we love sharing with everybody, who love eating their vegetables and sharing them with you. But there is a group of students and young adults everywhere, and they're called the disabled, who really, they need our support. And what we have found through Green Bronx Machine is our programming with them has been some of the most effective, not only in our history, but New York City Department of Education history. And now, as this green movement moves into schools and into businesses, what we want to do is train these young people, whether they are developmentally disabled or whether they have physical challenges, to be the next caretakers of this green movement. We had a young man, for those who came to the gala, who was recognized by the mayor for his work in New York City. So what we are doing is we are going to convert part of the farm that Dominic talks about into the first ADA accessible workforce development site in New York City. We're going to put, believe it or not, a pagoda on top, a scaffolding on top, so kids in wheelchairs can be outside. We're actually laying down cement pathways because it's one of the few streets that has great accessible parking for wheelchair buses. And we're going to turn this site into the first ADA workforce development site for urban farming and solar installations in New York City. I have over 20 schools and thousands of kids who want to participate. So we're going to get in there. We're going to level out the farm with bobcats. We're going to totally make it accessible. We're going to underlie the bottom so that it can support wheelchairs without getting stuck in the mud. We're going to put in cement walkways. We're going to put in raised beds. We're going to have some running water stations and convert this into the first ADA accessible workforce for outdoor training in New York City. So super excited about it. We're actually going to start tearing up the ground. Believe it or not, I think September 1st. We are prepared to start. We're going to build it to code. So New York Restoration Project is helping us actually build this thing to code. So it's not kind of like we're figuring it out. It's something that will absolutely be replicable. And I have a feeling we are going to come up with something that is going to set the precedent for New York City, New York State, and the rest of the nation. Because if we have so many children who want to work and the ability to train them in these spaces, there's no shortage of need for food. So we're able to make it a very virtuous cycle for everybody. So I'm super excited about that project. We're going to cut back the trees on the other side. The farm next year is going to look totally different, Dominic. I can't wait for you to come out. But bring all your heavy-duty technology and all your really cool camera stuff, because it's going to be worth highlighting.
I'm going to try to get there when you're doing the work, the initial work, of, you know, the gutting it and ripping it apart and stuff.
Well, we're going to be starting that. You're welcome to come out. I'll get you the dates. It's going to be happening in September. You know, believe it or not, I got to get a guy to drive we got to get a tractor and a bobcat. I got to get, you know, all the insurance and stuff like that. It's going to be real heavy duty.
Yeah, no, trust me. I don't have the bobcat training and that stuff. I give me a shovel and an axe and it's sore.
There'll be plenty for everybody to do.
So the next question, because we're hoping people want to get in contact with you, so we just got a question. Could you repeat your email and your phone number so people could contact you if they so choose to after the call?
Surely. Is there like a chat box? You want me to put it in the I don't know how to do this stuff, but you can. So my email is
I will actually do it right now for you.
Yeah,
I put it in. So
you know my email. You write me a couple of 100,000 times a day.
Excuse me. I know. Okay, I know your email from when I put it in initially, but the problem with society and technology is you're in. So when I put Stephen,
it gives you everything, right?
Fills in the rest of it that I don't have to get to.
So it is Stephen, STEPHEN .RITZ at greenbronxmachine.org. Stephen, STEPHEN .Ritz at greenbronxmachine.org. And my phone number is 917-873-6449.
I'm putting that into
it's always best to text me, simply because more often than not, you know, I'm doing something else with the phone or the computer, but I promise I'll get back. Just tell me who you are and your name, because so many people put "it's me." You'd be amazed how many mothers have named their children "it's me." So please tell me who you are and where you're from when you leave me a text message.
Yes, we don't want to be "it's me." Well, I can say "it's me" because you have my I'm saved in your phone, so you know who it's me when I say "it's me." But
yeah, no, I have your number saved.
But yeah, I know you brought it up, and I'm sure there might be stuff that you haven't even brought up. So what is next for the Green Bronx Machine? I know the big project, but I'm sure there's other stuff on the table, because with the energy you have, there's got to be other things that you're working on.
So what is next? We are really doubling down first and foremost on our curriculum. Believe it or not, we are debuting this fall curriculum for visually impaired and auditorily impaired learners. So we will have the first ADA accessible curriculum in the country, and it will be e-reader compatible. And the beauty of that is hopefully you do not suffer from any visual or hearing impairments. But if you do, and it's e-reader compatible, you can also use this for kids who are struggling readers and struggling learners. So it'll be the first e-reader compatible to ADA spec in the country. I'm so super excited about that. We have our new TV series coming out for kids. It'll be coming out this fall. In the middle of September, we just wrapped up a bunch of episodes that were filmed in this classroom. We have a bunch of new animated episodes that debuted in this classroom. Of course, the documentary is debuting, and we're going to have homeschool curriculum. Because now more than ever across the country, you'd be amazed that there are more than 10 million people, 10 million students who are being homeschooled. And we want to teach them how to grow food, how to have access to better nutrition, how to grow food for their families. So we're debuting an online homeschool course as well, which will be free. That's right, Free, free. So, watch the website, watch me on LinkedIn for sure. Follow Lizette, follow Green Bronx Machine, and follow Dominic. He's a leader in so many ways. He knows what's happening.
Thank you, Stephen. But you guys, again, are the most important part of today's conversation.
And sign up for our newsletter. If you go to the website and sign up for our newsletter, we'll be sure to keep. We don't spam you to death. I only send out one newsletter a month. That's it. We all get too much email. So when I send something, it's intentional and it's with news.
The amazing part is as we're coming to an end, because the energy you have, we could probably talk for hours. But if you could ask everyone at MDRT to do one thing, just one thing, what would it be?
So I'm going to ask everybody at MDRT to do one thing, and it has nothing to do with me. I'm going to ask everyone to just check in with somebody you love. Now more than ever, the mental health crisis is real. The financial crisis for some people is really real. So take the time to be kind to someone. Be kind to yourself, be kind to your neighbor, and be kind to the planet. And if you can eat a little less meat along the way and a few more plants, you'll be doing the world and yourself a big favor. So that's really it. Check in on someone you love. That's what I want people to do. If everyone just did one more random kind act a day, the world would be a better place and we'd all be better people because of it. And if you do that and mention Green Bronx Machine along the way, that's a 2 for 1. But, be kind to each other, yourselves, and the planet, please.
That was spectacular. And I'm not shocked with your response to that. I knew it wouldn't be self-serving. I knew it would be something value add to give back to the world, because that's who you are.
Call your parents. It's really funny. I say this and I say it meaningfully. If your parents are still alive, please call them. They probably love to hear from you. And sometimes, trust you me, those calls can be a little difficult. And, I don't have the time. Find the time, because, I wish I could call my dad. I hear it all the time from so many of my friends and colleagues. Life has a way of being very unexpected these days. So do the things that matter most. And matters most is not money. What matters most is people.
Fantastic. Again, great answer. As we're closing out today, first, I want to thank Stephen for all of that valuable information.
To all of you.
And his presentation. Lizette for giving Stephen some feedback in the background and popping in back and forth. Lizette, come say hi on screen real quick. We keep saying your name. Come say hi.
Hello.
Hi, Lizette.
Goes to show you she pays attention to you, Dominic. I didn't even think she'd be listening to me or you, but there she is.
Well,
Thank you, everybody.
Stephen needs Lizette. His wonderful daughter also is always there to help out with stuff. So it's a family run organization from top to bottom. In closing, if anybody has any last minute questions, please feel free to ask. If not, you can contact Stephen. You got his contact information. He'll gladly give you any information you want about his organization and anything you do. I want to thank our MDRT community leaders team for getting this set up so you guys could hear Stephen's story for people that haven't had a chance to meet him yet. It's something, again, I'm very passionate about. I get behind organizations that especially are about children. And then when it's about children with disabilities, I'm a parent, I'm lucky or blessed, whatever you want to use the words, that my children are healthy for the most part. So they don't have, but I know what it is for families that don't have that situation where they do need help with their children or they don't have the financial wherewithal for food. Just the amazing things he's doing for the world. I wanted more people to know the story, to see what can be done with just a beginning
People
of a little
power. This is about people.
Yes. So again, you have the QR code if you want to watch the film. I highly suggest watching it. It's a great story. Other than that, I'm going to give you guys, you're welcome for that. So I'm going to give you guys back 12 minutes on your Monday. Enjoy your day. Make those phone calls if you can, and hope to hear from you and hope to maybe see you on the farm one day. Have a good day.
Come on down. Thanks, everybody. God bless you and have a great day.